Here is the fourth pressing, and this is the variation A from the mid-70s. Now, not only does this copy have an Apple label which is quite a bit lighter than on the early pressings, but also you can see here the text is now significantly slimmer and thinner than it was before. It's not as wide, and there's the back there too. Same there, thinner text. Now here is the variation B of the fourth pressing. Now this here is what's known as a matte label, and it speaks for itself really, because as you can see it's a very, very pale colour. You know, it's yellow really, it's almost a yellow apple, and it's still got the thin text and looks the same as the fourth pressing variation A, but as you can see it's just a very sort of sick pale yellow colour rather than the bright green or dark green of the usual Apple label. Now unfortunately I don't have a variation A of the fifth pressing, but I do have a variation B, so I can show you that one. So here is the variation B of the fifth pressing. Now, although it's not as yellow as the matte label, it's a little bit lighter than before, I think. This side too. Now, again, there isn't really a lot of difference with this copy to the fourth pressing. It's just kind of all to do with matrix numbers, which determines the pressings now. Like, this matrix number has -4 and -5. Can't even find it. 2U, yep. So -4, -2U, as opposed to -2, -1, as on pretty much every previous pressing. Yep. So this is the first pressing to have significantly different matrix numbers. Now here I have another copy of the fifth pressing variation B. However, it's got a rare cover variation, which I'll show you now. Now, I'll take a standard copy of Abbey Road. In fact, I'll just show the last copy. Now, in the sky here, I'll take it out of its cover. In the sky here, it's just an empty sky. However, on this variation of the fifth pressing cover, there is a cloud in the sky, which isn't there on most of the copies. Now, it's a very faint and wispy cloud, but just by the tree there, you might be able to see it. I'll compare the two covers. Now you can see that there's a small cloud round about here on this copy, but there's nothing on this copy. That is quite difficult to see, but that's a proper cover variation. There is stuff you can read about it on the internet. Now, if you decide to go looking for this variation, it's only on the mid-70s ones. It wouldn't be on any kind of 69 or 70 cover, so I'd recommend looking for the mid-70s covers, and of course they're aligned Apple. They are still laminated. And here is a third copy of the variation by the fifth pressing, except this one just has -4, -3 matrix numbers instead. Here is the sixth pressing from the early 80s. And this has like a light green Apple label, I would say. Side 1 and side 2. And the matrix numbers on this copy are -6 and -4. And here is the seventh pressing from the late 80s. Now, as you can see, this copy has the rim text going all the way around the label, rather than having gaps here and here. So the rim text goes all the way around on both sides. And here is the eighth pressing from the 90s. And this pressing has the barcode on the back for record, CD and tape. Now this label has a completely different layout. I mean, all the fonts bolder and a little bit wider, and the apple's quite a pale colour as well. And on side 2 it's the same. And the whole setup for track 2 is totally changed. Weirdly as well, for the dark bits down here, where the Beatles, produced by George Martin, is written, they've actually sort of printed it white as well, so you can see the bits in the black, and they've done that to some extent up there as well. And here is the 2003 Harlem present from Holland. Now, on previous albums, this version always obviously has the barcode, and it always gets an apple put on the back of the sleeve. But because Abbey Road has one anyway, it doesn't get an additional apple. It just stays the same. And of course, the label is identical to the previous one, except for the groove going around the label there on either side. And here is a mid-70s Pathé Marconi present, which was of course pressed in France. It's even got a nice little Made in France sticker on the back of the sleeve there. And as usual on the Pathé Marconi presents, everything's just all over the place. As you can see, there's huge spaces between all the letters and everything. And of course, Made in France at the top. Same for side 2. Now here is a Pathé Marconi French coloured vinyl pressing from about 1978, and it's on green vinyl. And here it is. Personally, I think it looks really nice, very nice indeed. And the label's actually slightly different to the conventional Pathé Marconi press. It's still really spaced out, but it does look a little different. So yeah, I think that's a really nice thing. Pathé Marconi did a lot of coloured vinyl for the albums. Like, you can get loads of different Sgt. Peppers in like purple and dark blue and red and yellow and orange and white, and they just look amazing. But this is one of the only ones I've got actually, so still does very nice. I'm happy to have this one. And finally, I have this copy from Taiwan, which is quite unusual, because the sleeve isn't really a sleeve as such. It's just this bit of plastic thing here. It's just this, and on the back there, like, you don't really put your record inside or anything. And then this is the record. Actually, one thing I'd like to point out is that it's in black and white on the back for some reason. Yeah, it's in colour on the front. And like a lot of Taiwan vinyl I've seen, has this yellow label. Yep, there we go. In stereo, of course, and it's got lots of writing around it and stuff. Yep. So this is a Taiwan pressing of Abbey Road. Okay, so that's the end of my Abbey Road collection video. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week, hopefully, for my Let It Be collection video, the last of the original UK albums.